we get started, I just wanted to say this is a factory Glock. There's about 100 rounds through it. The only thing we've done is applied force field weapons conditioner to it. So let's get it started. So this test is going to simulate if you were to drop during a reload. Obviously there'd never be this much debris in it, but for test's sake. I'm going to clear the debris that would be in the barrel. We're going to let it go. Alright, for safety, we're going to be running all these tests with an empty chamber, loaded magazine. First test we're going to run is going to be if you're in a, say, a dusty or dirty environment. Maybe you leave the gun in your car door, you open carry in a fairly dry place. We're going to be using gravel. This will both simulate sand and dust particles. So far, so good. It's getting gritty, but it's still going. This is going to be both the mud test and the berry test. And we have our first failure to feed. We're going to have to do a submersion test to clear this one. Okay, so the problem is the trigger will not pull. It won't fire. It'll pull a little bit, but it won't go. I'll show you what I mean. It's an empty gun. I'm pulling, but there's no click. So, I'm going to try my best to clean it up. There it goes. We're going to let this soak for a little bit. Then we're going to bring it back into action. To be consistent with our testing, I'm going to go ahead and insert the mag underwater, chamber around, and then come up and shoot. So we had a fail on the first round, but it kicked back into action. So we found the round. It was not the gun, it was the round. It does have a dent, so it's bad ammunition there.
What do you think so far?
It surpassed my expectations. Alright, so I just got finished making my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I thought maybe peanut butter and jelly and Glock. This isn't going to be efficient at all, so we're just going to do it the hard way. Got all that nastiness in there. Beautiful. Alright, if I can rack the slide back. This is where not having factory Glock sights come in handy, because you could one hand do it. Alright, chambered. Okay, so we were testing the Glock and not the iPhone today, and the iPhone failed, so our first peanut butter and jelly shooting didn't make it into the video. So we're going to have to do this again. Anyway, got my Glock. Testing goes on the gun. The first few tests, the gravel test, the drop test, the dirt test, and then the actual, what I consider the reload test. Those are what I consider practical tests. The odds of you having to reload in a self-defense situation are fairly low, and then the odds of you dropping your gun into a mud puddle is even lower. So when we got to the mud test, that was really just to see what the gun could do. Up till that point, the gun had functioned flawlessly. When we got to the mud, as you saw in the video, it did not like to feed. The most we got out of the gun was 2 shots. And that being said, we tested it 3 different times, cleaning it each time. It just doesn't like mud, guys. But again, that's highly unlikely you're going to encounter that. Finish is really pretty decent. For what we did to it, the gun still looks fairly new. Kind of see the scratches there. And if you notice, I have changed my sights out, and I will get to that in a minute. But the gun overall is in good shape after all of that. So let's talk about the pros and cons of the Glock 43. I'll go over the pros first. The pros being the trigger is absolutely amazing for this size of gun. It's a standard Glock trigger, which if you on the full-size guns is pretty much what you get in this gun. So it's got that nice take-up. It's a little mushy on the break, and then a nice clean, crisp, and audible reset, which I really like. So if you've shot the other Glocks, this will feel right at home to you. The low bore axis is another plus compared to the other guns, which we have the Shield here and the XDS, which are really what I would consider its competition. And then the other positive to this gun is it's a little bit smaller than those with the flush magazine. Now, the other positive that I look at is the finish. It's a standard Glock finish, however, you saw the testing we did, and this thing really held up well. And that brings me to the negatives that I don't like about the gun. With it being small, it's easier to carry, but it's a double-edged sword for the fact that I wear size small gloves, and I still can't get my pinky on it without the extension. And I'm not going to carry the gun with the extension, so I'm not going to practice with it. The recoil on this is also much more snappy than the other guns, which when you can't get your pinky on the gun, that makes follow-up shots a little bit more difficult. However, within self-defense ranges, I'm still hitting paper. It's not really a problem. It's just something that takes getting used to. The other thing that I don't like about the gun is it comes with Glock sights, which are plastic. They're not as durable as the steel sights that the XDS or the Shield comes with. So what I did to remedy that is I put the XS big dot sights on it, and I really like it. The other thing that sucks is magazine capacity. You get 6 in each mag to include the pinky extension mag. The XDS and the Shield both come with a 7-round mag and an 8-round mag. But all in all, the gun's very reliable. shoots well, points well, and I think the trigger is probably the biggest thing that this gun has going for it. I mean, for its size, it probably has the best trigger out of these pictured. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay safe, stay free, and check us out on libertytreellc.com and Facebook /LibertyTreeGuns.